I wanted to take the time today to introduce myself to you. There may be some that see this video and know me in a very different way than this. And then there will be those that see this that have never met me and know absolutely nothing about me. So I wanted to introduce myself and I want to welcome you to the Lion's Gate. This is a very powerful time in the lunar cycle, and it's no mistake that I'm making this video today, releasing this video today, because I am finally walking into all of my power, gifts, talents, and abilities, regardless of what the world tells me. I know that for many, this is a really scary place to be, and it was for me. I was comfortable saying it to people who were also walking their own spiritual path. I was comfortable speaking to my husband about it. Maybe not completely, but for the most part. And he is very supportive of it. I can talk to my kids about it, but again, in little microdoses. So it's been this thing where I haven't come out to the world and said, this is who I am. And I decided that this is the time. If I am to truly live my life's purpose, I have to be out there. And I have to be willing and am willing to hear the snide remarks or see the eyes kind of roll in the back of their head like, oh gosh, and all in between. And then also accepting the people that are excited and thrilled and would like me to help them along their path or help them discover answers that they haven't been able to discover, to find their aha moment. That's my path, and so I'm ready to completely come out of the woo-woo closet, and that closet no longer exists because I'm not going back in it. I am not living in any closet. I am living my life fully, purposefully, and authentically who I am. And so when somebody asks me, what do you do? I no longer say I'm retired. I no longer say, well, I was this and that, because I was a lot of things in my life. I now say I'm an Akashic Records reader, a master certified Akashic Records reader. I am a channel, and I am a Reiki healer. And I am also a work in progress because I know that there is more to come. I have been told over and over and over again that I will discover new abilities and talents, gifts and powers, and I will rediscover rediscover gifts, talents, ability, and powers that I have done in other lifetimes. So that's who I am right now in this moment. But how did I get here? Because this has been a journey. It has not been a straight line journey. It's not even been a journey where I kind of zigzag, but I'm always on it. It has been get on, get off, get on, get off, get on, get off. There's been 3 phases, and I am in the 3rd and final phase. I can't imagine anything taking me off of the path now. Not to say that there isn't something out there that might try, but I'm saying I don't see it. I can't imagine it. It is beyond anything that I can imagine. So just a brief history. I was born in Detroit. I was raised by parents. One was religious. She was in the Lutheran faith, is in the Lutheran faith, the Missouri Synod Lutheran faith. For any of you that are Lutherans, you'll know what that means. And a father that was kind of indifferent to it all. Knew that there was something, but really didn't go much past that. But my mom, it was important that we be raised with religion. I believe that those are my roots, and I believe that they are the wings that have allowed me to fly. But what I can tell you is from a very early age, I didn't believe in the dogma. I didn't believe that Jesus Christ was the only way to get to what they say is heaven. Because I had friends that were not Christian. I had friends that were Hindu. I had friends that followed a different Christian faith, but the Lutherans kind of looked down upon it. But I knew that there were other religions in the world. I knew there was Muslims. I knew there was Hindus. I knew that there was Taoists. I knew that there were atheists. I had a conception that there were many out there that did not follow this path that had been laid out in front of me. And I did not believe, I could not believe, that's a better way of putting it, I could not believe that the God that I knew intrinsically, in the depths of my soul, knew would turn anyone away because they didn't believe in Jesus Christ. So I didn't follow that dogma. I didn't believe it. I knew that they were welcome, no matter what path they walked on this planet. They were welcome. And so I had a hard time believing that, but I continued to go, and I continued to go. And then, you get to be a teenager. And then it became kind of in and out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But I would say mostly out. And got married, tried to have children. And that really threw me off my path because it didn't happen. It didn't happen as I was always led to believe it would happen. It didn't happen in the time frame in which I was assured that it would happen. And so I had a really hard time believing that if there was a creator, a God, a source, something beyond myself, that they would allow me to go through this, not understanding that I'm the one that decided that, but that's a different story. And so I kind of walked away. I just said, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, I believe, but that's as far as it goes. And so I stepped off. And then, through life, through circumstances, through happenstance, but mostly because I had children, and we have a way of thinking that we need to repeat the cycles, especially when it comes to religion, that we were raised with. I went back to the Lutheran church, and I raised my kids Lutheran. And it wasn't until my son was going to get confirmed that he called into question everything that I had silently questioned a while prior to that, and growing up. And he said that he didn't know if he could go through it, but he did. But that was, I believe, the last time he stepped into a church, which is his path, and I understand that now. And then but prior to that, I want to back up a second, because prior to that, I was in a Lutheran church, and I became a part of a ministry that I believed in, a ministry that I thought was for the good. And what happens in so many circumstances when people pull the curtain back in organized religion, they see that it's money that's behind that curtain, that is all about the money, and it's all about the power. And when I saw that, I walked away. I said, I can't. I just can't. And I wouldn't say that I walked away I didn't walk away from my spiritual path, but I would say that I just kind of didn't want to get back into organized religion. And some would call it a dark night of the soul. I called it just questioning. And so for 6 months, I questioned, and I questioned. Who am I? Is there really such a thing as God? And is there really such a thing as Christ? And am I supposed to believe in Christ? Long story short, I bought some jeans, checked the pockets before I bought them. There was nothing in those pockets. And brought them home, hung them up upside down, and this small personal Bible fell out, and in the corner it said page 26. And on page 26 was a reaffirmation of the belief in Christ. I took that to be what I know it is to be, is that it was a sign for me to believe that there is something greater than myself. But it's also something that I am to walk with, that it is not something that I am to be led by, that I walk side by side. But it also led me back to organized religion. And so that is how my son got confirmed, and my daughter. But after his questioning, and after my daughter was confirmed, I then too started to think, I think I'm done. And so I, walked away. Got very much into yoga, got very much into meditation, and it was magical. Met a woman who opened me up even further, though she's not anybody that is my life anymore. I think she was brought to me just to help open me up. And so that was my second going onto the spiritual path, because even though I was in organized religion, it was religion, it was not a spiritual path. And so here I am back, and I'm really taking a deep dive. I became a level 3 Reiki master, thoroughly enjoyed it. And then life, like it likes to do, threw me a curveball, and I willingly went off my path. And it was 8.5 years before I came back on. And when I came back on, there was no turning back. There is no turning back. That is when I became innately aware of my gifts, talents, abilities, and powers. But knowing them, embracing them, and bringing them out into the world is something very different. You can believe it. I believed it. I knew it. But talking about it, bringing it out into the world was something completely different. This time what has happened is I have community. I am a part of a few different groups. I am constantly being mentored by people and being further opened up. I want to give a shout out to my Little Soul School cohorts, because without them, I would not be as far on my journey as I am. So many of them, each one of them really, has been able to give me information that has helped me to get to where I'm at. And I thank them tremendously. And I thank Laura Coe for finding her ability to teach the Akashic Records, to have this school, to give us a place to be so that we can have a safe space. And that safe space has led me here. So this time it was someone who was a mentor to me, but is no longer a mentor to me, asked me, "Do you have ringing in your ears?" And I said, yes. And he asked, "Which one?" And I said, "My right." "Okay. I think you're going to channel. You're clairaudient." I had no idea what that meant. But in with that, I was not truly given any guidance. So learning how to channel, learning how to do that has been a work in progress. I've had to learn how to really protect myself and protect this space that I'm in and my aura, my energetic field, because there was a time where lower energies came in and attached themselves to me and used my voice as their own. And when it was brought to my attention by that particular mentor and another one, I had to reach out to another energy healer to find out how I cut those cords, how I get rid of them. And so I am constantly doing that. They are not allowed in. They are never invited. They are never welcome. So before I even did this video, you know, there was a prayer of protection that happened so that no energies, entities, or energies that are of a low vibration or frequency that do not come in pure and unconditional love and for the highest good and purest purpose of myself and whoever watches this video, they are not allowed in. They cannot come in. And so I had to learn how to do that for myself, and I have. And so sharing that will be part of what I do. So that's basically, you know, how I got to where I am. It was just a lot of life circumstances that, you know, I allowed myself to be taken off, but I also was encouraged to come back on. And so what am I? I am still a level 3 Reiki master. I will continue to work on achieving different levels of Reiki mastery because I know that this energy modality works, and it works hands-on and hands-off. And when I say that, when you have Reiki, hands are never on you. They hover above you, but they're never on you. And when I learned Reiki, Reiki was always done in person, and now it is done both over Zoom and in person. So I will continue on that road. I found Laura Ko through Little Soul School, and I heard about her, and I knew that what she was saying, I had to do it. It spoke to the depths of my soul. And it was not, oh yeah, this sounds interesting. This was like, hell yes, I have to do this. And so I took her key class and a couple of other small classes that she had. And then I did her certification and I became certified. And that was a trip. It was so much fun. And I just opened up more and more and more each month, each reading. It was amazing. And then she offered her mastery class, and so I did that. So I am certified through Little Soul School as a master certified Akashic Records reader, and I also channel. And channeling only happens when my ears are, my right ear in particular has been ringing. That's my sign. Like the collective council wants to come through, and that's what they're called, the collective council. They are a collective of many different beings that come together to bring forth wisdom, to help humanity. Some of their messages, if you are in a place where you reside in fear, you will say they're fearful. If you are in a place of wanting to understand what is happening, what it all means, it will help with that. But their messages like that are very far and few between, because that is, even though it feels that it's a large part of what's happening in our world today, it's a small part of what's happening in our world today. And it's really, the messages that they give are of love and compassion for all of humanity. And so, but those come through only when I call them and say, hey, I've got this question and I don't understand. and they'll help me with it, or when they call upon me, because they do call upon me. I am not a medium. Not to say that maybe one day that will happen, but that is not something that is in my wheelhouse. But the whole purpose of this is that I want to put this introduction on my website. And sorry that it's so long, but I think in order for you to know if I'm someone that you want to work with, you need to hear the whole picture. And then also on YouTube, so that you can know whether or not I'm someone you want to follow. And I know that there are a lot of people out there. I am not looking to be anything other than who I am. And I am looking to help those who resonate with what I say. And if that's you, reach out to me. My web address is www.555purplealchemy.com. On there, you can make an appointment. If you've never had your Akashic Records read, there is a link for a 30-minute appointment where I explain it and help you understand questions that are beneficial and questions that you may not get as much information as you would like. And then, of course, there are links to make an appointment after that, or for people who have had Akashic Records readings. Reiki is currently not available. I am doing some fine tuning, and when that's done, I will bring that online. And in closing, what I want to say is, if this message is speaking to you, but you are someone that is in a situation where it's a stretch to pay my fee, reach out to me, talk to me, and we will see what we can do. That is not offered to everyone. That is truly for people who are in need. Remember that energy, I am giving you energy, and the money that you give me is energy, so it's an exchange of energy. It needs to happen. It needs to be that way. There can't be, I give you energy and I receive nothing in return. It's not how it works in the spiritual world. It's not how it works in the regular world. It's not how it works anywhere. But keep that in mind. I really do want the people who are looking and just have financial difficulties in their lives, true financial difficulties in their lives, reach out to me. I'll see what I can do. So that's who I am. If you have any questions, please feel to email me at 555purplealchemy@gmail.com, and I will get back to you. Thank you.